Just call me angel in the morning, darling. Do you remember who sang that, Lukey Moore?
Beautiful. It was a beautiful rendition.
Yeah, I can't remember. She's got a funny name.
It was covered by Shaggy.
It was covered by Shaggy. Could somebody find out? AKA
That's the version I know.
Lukey Moore, can you? I can't type and talk. Just call me Angel in the morning. Her name's like Marmalade Adams or something strange like that. I always find
it's a lovely tune.
It's a lovely tune, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, Angel of the Morning by Juice Newton.
Juice Newton. Sounds like a wrestler. Juice Newton. What a name.
Juice Newton. Lovely
Juice Newton.
stuff.
Is that her real name?
I couldn't tell you. I'm going to check though. What's
Juicy
that popped
Newton.
into your mind for? Why have you got that on your brain?
I think sometimes when you start the show, I'm like, by its very nature, the Loose and Pete show. That is very much how we pitch it. The Loose and Pete show. It's very loose and sometimes peaty.
Judith Newton, nickname
Judith Newton, and she called us. It just sounds like the sort of name like a baseball player would have or something. Juice.
Very nice.
And
I'd never really considered it. I very much remember the follow up to Shaggy's "It Wasn't Me," which was Angel.
Well, the original Just Call Me Angel in the Morning has a lovely sort of synth hit, da 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 da, which sounds like something you'd hear in like a kind of a film, da 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 da. If something very exciting happens,
I want to show the nation my appreciation.
Yeah, he should not have been allowed to do that. I think collectively we need to be more resourceful.
People see the money, don't they? People see the money.
I know, but
baby.
they just need to. They do need to just get on with their lives and just say, look, we can't have him ruining these songs.
Would you say they just need to get over it?
Is that OK Go?
It's one of your ones, isn't it?
It's not one of my ones. OK Go is nowhere near the usual trash that I listen to. for one, they had a global hit or two.
True.
Very much, yeah.
Speaking of Shaggy covers, I used to live with the boyfriend of Mungo Jerry's daughter.
That's right. Yes. Okay. Yes.
And Shaggy obviously covered in the summertime as well, didn't he?
I imagine he covered. How much money is Shaggy making? Because obviously back then you could make a bit of money from music, being Shaggy in that. But presumably you're not making that much money because you're just covering people's music.
He's had some big hits though.
I know, but like Mr. Boombastic, production-wise, is absolutely beautiful.
He's won
that'll
two
be a sample
Grammys.
That'll be a sample that will be expensive to clear, no doubt. I don't know what it's from. Presumably some kind of Japanese kind of monster movie or something. I don't.
Mr. Boombastic and Oh Carolina are both really good.
Oh, I forgot about Carolina.
Carolina's his first one, wasn't it?
That man was a fucking terrorist. Oh, Carolina. Yeah, Carolina, that would have been like a 1950s sort of swing band drum.
Would you say it was a funky groove, Pete?
It was a funky groove that he's kind of that he's messed with. Yeah, how is he? I just don't know how he's making any money, to be quite frank, because they feel like expensive samples that must be cleared.
I don't think it's your concern, though.
I worry about
Just enjoy
Shaggy.
the music. Just enjoy the music.
I worry about Coolio. I worry about the Backstreet Boys. I worry about these people who have used samples. I worry.
Dead, isn't he?
Coolio is dead as well. He really did have that. He really did go down the line of that haircut for a long time, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
He just kept on like the little. His whole vibe was like tiny little sort of very tight, like sort of straw thin dreadlocks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then stick in the air. I don't know what you call them, but they just got smaller, smaller, and smaller until there was no out there.
He lived a bit like Taribo West did the same.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, still had the. But Taribo West at least had enough. He had little beads on his, didn't he? He had to sort of wear them down.
Yeah, but it got thinner and thinner.
Would you be allowed beads nowadays? 'Cause I feel like that could whip someone in the eye and give someone a nasty,
It's a good question.
nasty pain.
I mean, even Coolio's massive hit "Gangster's Paradise," which sold over 5 million copies, that's obviously sampled "Pastime Paradise" by Stevie Wonder, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's handing all that money over as well.
He's handing all that money over that.
You're going to be able to keep some of the sweet moolah though. You're not going to give it all away. I mean, I know that the Verve had to give away all of Bittersweet Symphony to the Stones, didn't they?
Yeah. Is there an argument to say that Gangsters Paradise was a more successful single than the one it was based on? I think you can't deny that. Surely.
I think it probably wasn't it? Was Pastime Paradise even released as a single?
No, I feel like it was an album track. But
I think the trick you want to be doing is doing what old Dre was doing back in the day,
right?
And sampling,
pushing women downstairs.
No, come on.
Sorry,
that's not the point I'm making. You got to separate the art from the artist. Though I have to say, for the record, that was terrible.
Me or him?
You want to be sampling like obscure stuff, I think.
Right? Yeah, but like it can always be found, and you better spend that money quick, because if you're in a situation where you spent all the money and they suddenly realise that that's their sample, I mean, do you reckon
RZA's sampling like obscure like kung fu movies?
Do you think that? Do you think that sampling kind of like music from the past, there are a few quite famous artists who've done that? No one's been able to find the sample, but they sort of, it's their Chelsea historical improprieties that, they're thinking every night on your yacht that this could all be taken away tomorrow if somebody notices that I've used
so you can never quite fully relax?
You by Daphne and Celeste.
You can never relax.
You can never truly relax. You're lauded for being this incredible artist, but at some point, someone, the piper will have to be paid.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Is that how you feel about the money you've made from podcasting?
Well, all the jokes I've stolen over the years off other podcasts I've listened to, all references and that, all kinds, all over the place.
Would you say you're particularly bad for that?
No, I don't think I am. But I sometimes do it, think that should be edited out because that is a direct lift, and then think, and then forget that I've done it, and then it just goes out, and then
They do what I do. I only ever steal jokes from listeners that they send to you personally, because they're powerless.
No, because I noticed that you sent a video to me and Jim on the same day, because we were both doing the ramble on the same day, and you're sending stuff to both me and Jim at the same time. Yeah,
well, because if I think the audience is going to enjoy it, I'll share it with both of you. What's the problem with that?
I just think sometimes, because I do that sometimes, and then
I feel special.
I worry that if I get, but you should have like a little list of like, things that Jim and I would enjoy, which I would very much like to see what else is in that Venn diagram. But when you forward stuff,
wet indie music.
Do not type SNL UK into the running order, you absolute nightmare. We can't have another show where he slates down for no reason.
Well, we can, because the trailer's come out. And I shared it with you. You didn't respond, so you're going to respond in a minute. Carry on. Make your point. Make your point.
It's shit. Everyone knows it's shit. It's going to be shit. Just get through it. Why are you sipping out of a straw? Like you're in. What is even that? Have you bought some of that magnesium drink they're advertising on Instagram? If you drink red wine every night, why not try this magnesium drink? It was like a sharp. I think it was a sharp lemon magnesium drink that they're advertising on Instagram. I'm like, that sounds terrible. You need to PR this better. It's a sharp magnesium drink.
Tell you, but I'm not having that marketed in my timeline. This is a Fanta tropical fruit twist or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't mind that. That's,
carry on.
That's
I'll
fun.
tell you, the answer to your question is the stuff I send to you and Jim, at the same time, tends to be kind of off the beaten track comedy stuff that you would like, or wet indie music.
Right, okay. But you don't think that I don't like it sometimes when I forward something to someone and then I forward it again, and I think it sometimes comes up in their WhatsApp sort of timeline saying forwarded. Yeah,
you've got to do copy. You've got to do copy and then paste. Don't do forward.
Yeah.
You do forward, it looks like you're rehashing old stuff, which of course you probably are generally.
And you are. But you just know how to copy and paste.
Do you want to... I think the development in the Saturday Night Live UK world is that the trailer came out.
The trailer did come out, yeah.
And I said to you on the record a week or two ago...
This isn't a record?
What is it?
I would be scared if this was on the record. A record of anything. It's a record of our increasing amounts of dementia. That's all it is.
What does record mean? Record. What are we doing now? Recording.
But that makes it sound more lofty. You know what I mean?
But
our RSS output is just a big bin full of spit.
Your confidence issues are your confidence issues. Don't bring me into it. They're your problem, mate.
Your name on our Riverside recording is Captain Colossus.
It was Jane McDonald for about 3 months.
I know, and mine is buns. Anyway, I can't remember why I wrote that.
I said on the record I wanted it to be good.
Right.
The trailer.
Did you? Did you say you wanted it to be good?
I would like it to be good. I'd love to watch it.
We all like things to be good, but they're more fruitful when they're not.
Why are you putting a trailer out without a single joke in it? Answer me that.
Oh, God, it's just... There's just not... you can talk about it for months, but it's just... It's not great. It's been, the news cycle has been sort of dominated by SNL UK and the NVIDIA DLSS 5 debacle this week. It's do you want to go any further on the SNL UK?
There's also been a war.
It's an awful situation. Well, all right, we'll do SNL UK, then we'll do DLSS 5, and then we'll do the war.
All right, cool.
See that guy fucking recording today when the British guy in Beirut got bombed by the Israelis because they love killing journalists. He got absolutely smashed up. I hope he's all right. It's literally just happened.
Who was it?
But, I don't know. He was a Beirut-based war reporter, British guy.
The whole thing's a complete shit show, man. Jesus.
Just. Well, it's good to know that they can do that outside of Gaza anyway.
It's costing America $13 billion a day.
They can afford that, can't they?
Could anyone afford that?
If you want to build a ballroom.
Anyway, make your point. Make your point.
What's my point? SNL UK doesn't look good. DLSS, you brought in SNL UK. DLSS 5 is a new way of making faces video games look better. NVIDIA revealed it. It's a work in progress. But basically what they've done is get your normal faces in video games and they've sort of yassified them. You've basically used AI to make them look like pornography. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like the dolled up faces you see in like pornography. A lot of like the...
What's the name of the chip?
It's not a chip. It's an algorithmic process that a computer can do.
What's it called?
At runtime. DLSS. No, DSL. Yeah,
DLSS 5.
DLSS 5. And they've basically shown this video of some woman and man from Resident Evil, the new one. Don't really know. I'm not familiar with that title at all. But these two people from Resident Evil, and they basically turn like a normal woman's face into like lip fillers, like makeup. And all that stuff. And in the game at that time, it's all sanctioned by, the people who made certainly the people who released the game, possibly not the people who made the game. And it's basically like AI slop for video games. And NVIDIA are very excited about it, and the internet isn't. And it's fair to say that this kind of war is very much kind of, it's enduring, let's say. It's enduring.
The court of public opinion on the internet has decided that it's not good.
It's not good. Even people who, companies like Digital Foundry, who very much concentrate all of their kind of YouTubey work on pixel counting. When video games are released or when new graphics cards are released, they look at the technology behind video games, because there's people who enjoy video games as stories, as experiences, as multiplayer, ways to enjoy your time. And Digital Foundry people, and there are people who enjoy the technology behind it. They turn on a game just to see how video games have advanced graphically. And Digital Foundry very much, they are, a magazine show. People who kind of like basically measure frames per second and stuff like that. They sort of say how it's very charming, but it's basically the same people who talk about how you would improve the specs on your car from stock. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Add a turbo in here.
Yeah.
Improve your air intake.
Do some NOS.
Give us some nitros. Give us some nitros. And so it's stuff like that, really. But they basically came out, they went to NVIDIA to see this new technology, and a couple of them went, "Oh, this is really good, this is amazing," And then they put their video out. They were sort of regarded by a lot of fans as just shilling for NVIDIA, because the actual results, if you sort of take a step back and see the forest rather than just the trees, it's an astonishing bit of shit.
What are they going to do then?
Probably go back to the old NVIDIA drawing board, one might suggest. But it's the problem with a lot of this stuff is, and the problem with a lot of these kind of AI yassification apps, is that a lot of the training data is based on pornography, and everyone wears makeup in pornography. Everyone looks as best as they can, or as certainly, one might suggest there's not a natural beauty.
Is that because of the sheer volume of content that they can train it on?
Exactly. There's just more pornography than, and you got to remember, like most people who are having their pictures taken and get uploaded onto the internet, they're looking at their best. They're not looking like normal people. They're looking.
This show being an exception of it's being scraped. Yeah,
exactly. Can we have some podcast AI help, please? So it's really, really interesting stuff. So a lot of like those kind of beautification apps are based on
all this, Pete,
heap of porn.
In the same week that Metaverse is closing down.
I know. As I said on the text to you, I want to run to you, but I can't because I don't have any legs. Because this is the Metaverse. Does that mean we get our legs back?
Yeah, I guess.
That was the big thing in the Metaverse, isn't it? You don't have legs in the Metaverse.
Yeah, I mean, will anyone notice this?
I think Mark Zuckerberg hasn't cared about it for some time. He's
$80 billion it cost.
How much? 80 million.
80 billion in total.
80 billion. I was going to say that seemed kind of low. Yeah, he sort of dialed down the chat about VR and VR headsets and dialed up the Holocaust denial. That's kind of his thing, isn't it?
Why do they keep? One of my favourite things to come out of the Metaverse was that kind of AI fake advert where it made Mark Zuckerberg say in one of his dreadful presentation videos, and don't forget, if you die in the Metaverse, you also die in real life. It's just so bleak, so dystopian, right? Like, all this stuff going on, man. Like, that NVIDIA thing's fascinating. But this Metaverse, it's... People are very happy, aren't they, to throw Zuckerberg, Musk, all these other guys up as like geniuses, right? And a lot of what they touch turns to shit. Yeah.
No, because like a lot of their kind of successes are frequently when they were in their early 20s, or they just bought it in. Do you know what I mean? They acquired different companies that were successful, and it's like the old Elon Musk thing, buying Tesla. It's like, oh, he's saving the car industry. Like, well, he bought an electric car company, and so there you go.
How many people do you reckon are actually using the Metaverse?
Well, I don't know. It's closing, isn't it? That's
what I'm saying. But how many people is it going to actually affect? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I mean, there's still people presumably floating around Second Life. We should do a Second Life podcast. We should go on Second Life and do a podcast in Second Life. Bring back.
How would we do that, and how would it be different, and what would make it interesting?
Second Life. We've thought about it more than fucking Zuckerberg did.
Have you got legs in Second Life?
We got legs in Second Life. Yeah, you can float around and everything.
Let's have a break, Peter. When we come back, I'm going to talk about your new glasses, which make you look like Hugh Grant in the film Heretic.
Where's that come from? We're back with the Luke and Pete show.
Have a little slurp of my drink. Cheer that.
You have a little slurp of your Fanta. That's a shame. That is a shame.
So you got some new glasses because you left your glasses in a car park in Southend. Someone stamped on them. You found them on the floor of the car park later that day, and you decided you had to buy a new pair. Is that right?
I did have to buy a new pair, yeah.
Did all that stuff I've just said happen?
All of that stuff happened. Went to the shop. I didn't go to a Vision Express. I went to like an oldie-timey, man in his, approaching his 70s, doing it old school for me eye test and glasses. And I tell you what, it's a bloody good prescription. I can see a lot better than I used to from the Vision Express glasses.
It's gone back to basics.
They are at least 300 quid more than what I usually spend, but hey, what are you going to do?
And you pleased with the style of them?
Not necessarily. I took a picture of them when I was in the shop to my partner and said, "Any good?" And she replied, and I seemed maybe I was in a fit of Pete can be good or bad, can't it? Like positive or negative, can't it? A fit of excitement, isn't it? Reverie. It's like
I think so. Yeah.
So I was in a fit of pique at the excitement of getting new glasses, and I said, "Hey, what do you think of these?" And I thought what was replied to me was a thumbs up. Let go for it. They look all right.
What did she actually say? What were the words she used?
I think it was something about looking like a murderer.
You look like Hugh Grant in the film Heretic. Now, I've not seen Heretic, but he's on the poster.
Well, then you're not allowed to use the reference then.
I've seen it on the poster.
You're not allowed to use well, you don't know what happens in it. He might be misunderstood.
I suspect he plays a really horrible person in it.
I'm trying to roll back to see the pictures of me selecting the glasses. All I can see is the picture of Lenny Kravitz's dad that I keep sending to people going, have you seen Lenny Kravitz's dad? He'd wear these glasses. No worries.
What's so interesting about Lenny Kravitz's dad? Tell the listeners.
He looks very nerdy, and Lenny Kravitz is beautiful. He's like a Hollywood star, like sex symbol, basically.
He's not a Hollywood sex symbol, Peter. He's a rock star.
He was in loads of films.
What films has he been in?
Films.
You should better name me one then.
He's in
Zoolander as himself.
He's in the new James Bond video game.
Okay.
He's a baddie.
007 First Light. I've never heard of it.
007 First Light. That's right. Yes. Yeah.
And his daughter is a film star, so maybe you're getting a bit confused by that as well.
Yes, that is fair. I've looked at the picture that I sent Sarah. I said, what do you reckon? She said, sorry, only just seen this. Staying on the 70s vibe will look like the Partridge Family, presumably referring to some kind of 70s stuff that's sent before. She said...
so you saw that as an endorsement, basically?
Yeah. And she did go on to say they do have a hint of Dennis Nielsen, but that was after I'd ordered them. So,
Okay,
and Dennis Norden, thinking about it.
No, Dennis Norden was... Dennis Norden. I haven't heard his name mentioned for a long old time.
He'll be all right on the night.
It sure will. He used to do that thing where he would very gently present gaffes in TV and movies, and he would gently look at the audience in the studio, wouldn't he?
Yeah. When they have a situation where you've got Dennis Norden, not Nielsen, doing clips from like people like fucking up on telly and stuff. They also used to have I think a sister program where he would have like before they were famous shows as well.
Yeah,
was that him? I feel like that was him. They'd sort of say, "Hey, look at this! Hey, look at this! Look at the fellow who's in films now. He used to be in EastEnders." Do you know what I mean? It was it was really basic stuff.
Tepid stuff.
Then we didn't. But we didn't have access to. We didn't have access to anything. Do
you know what's also really interesting as well? I find with these types of guys is there's a generation of TV and movie people, British normally, who have also had really quite decorated service in the Second World War. And
yes,
you never think about it. Dennis Norden was a signals guy for the Royal Air Force based in Europe when Britain and the US went bludgeoning back through Europe. And there's an amazing anecdote of him where him and while he was in the signals unit for the RAF, he also was writing comedies and stage plays and stuff for the troops and that kind of shit, right? That was his thing he was good at.
Yeah.
And so him and Eric Sykes, who obviously, contemporary Spike Milligan comedy guy, there's this amazing story where in 1945, just before the end of the war, they end up putting on this stage play, this comedy or whatever, and they're based somewhere out in Europe, and they need to get some stage lighting, right?
Yeah,
they're based something like that. The Allies have basically kind of liberated parts of Germany, so they're in Germany somewhere towards the end of the war. They need to get some stage lighting, so they start kind of searching around, jump in a fucking Land Rover or whatever, and just start searching around. Turn up, they find some at Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, which has been liberated recently by the Allies, and they end up just organising massive food collections to feed all the starving camp inmates and trying to save lives and stuff like that. And it's just an amazing thing to think of, given that like we know him as being on like quite a
avuncular old man on the telly,
thin gruel on ITV1 in like 2014. But that's like part of his life, and no one would know about it.
He fed Belsen prisoners.
Yeah,
have some fucking respect.
It's like David Niven's another one. Like David Niven, I'm always talking about David Niven. I know, but like he's this like leading man in the golden age of Hollywood. Like sacks off Hollywood for a bit to go and come all the way back to the UK. Fight, ends up being like a commissioned army officer in some light infantry fucking place, and fights and then goes back again. It's like it's just crazy to think of. I think.
Yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely wild. Yeah, I mean, I guess everybody of that age would have pretty much have a story like that, I suppose. Apart from the craze,
yeah,
them lot.
A lot of that lot were just on the rob, weren't they?
Just on the rob, constantly on the rob. Probably easy to be on the rob when your house is in rubble, I suppose.
That's what he
the
said.
rob comes to you.
Wasn't it Mad Frankie Fraser or someone who said that that was the best time in his industry? That was the best time, the Blitz. No one was fucking out. All the lights were off. Do what you want. Cheers, mate. Thanks for your help with that. So those people are being bombed out of their houses. At least you've stolen all their stuff. Well done. Absolutely terrible. By the way, speaking of that, I watched the Peaky Blinders movie.
Oh, right. Can you jump back into it? Because I enjoyed the first couple of seasons. And I wanted to get to the point where Tom Hardy gets in because I like him. I didn't get there. And Tom Hardy's in the new Peaky Blinders movie.
He's not. He's good. He's good in the series though.
Right, he's in the series. The little Irish fella who
Barry Keoghan,
who's starting to look like a 70s nan.
Barry Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan. He's in it, isn't he?
It's not a brilliant movie, to be honest.
No?
I didn't really get it. I didn't think it was that good. I thought it's a bit pointless.
What's the main sort of plot?
Well,
what's the main kind of...
It's now fast forward to the Second World War, because obviously it's set just after the First World War, the series. So it's now the Second World War. And Barry Keoghan's character is Duke Shelby, who is Tommy Shelby's son.
Right.
And he's running amok in Birmingham while the world is at war.
Right.
And they're trying to convince Tommy Shelby to come out of retirement. He's in some country estate somewhere, seeing ghosts, addicted to opium, and they want to come back and sort everything out. Right. Tim Roth plays the bad guy. To me, the thing that's annoying about it is that I didn't really understand the motivation for all the stuff that was going on. I didn't really get the plot, and then it also had Stephen Graham, Barry Keoghan, Cillian Murphy, Rebecca Ferguson, and Tim Roth in it, and I thought to myself, this should be better. This is very much. This is less than the sum of its parts here. This.
Yeah. That's what I like about sort of British stars and Irish stars. They will be in massive Hollywood numbers. They're not A-listers, but they're at the very best C-listers, British talent.
Who's
usually.
that?
But they're very versatile. The Keoghan's and
but I think Keogh's on his
main
way
guy as well.
He's been in a new Beatles movie and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, but well, look, but they never get to a A-list sort of double A list.
You don't
stars,
reckon?
No, they never do.
Cillian Murphy is. He's Irish, not British, but
we always get very excited about that sort of thing. But
Cillian Murphy.
I would say Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy is
the closest. Cillian Murphy is an A-list actor, but is he double A-list? Is he going to be in the new Jurassic Park? Is he going to be getting paid $10 million? I'm just saying that
he's in Chris Nolan movies.
He is in Chris Nolan movies, and I imagine Chris Nolan probably spends more on IMAX codec functionality than he does the actual
well, that's fair.
That's fair. But so he's in like huge stuff, and he's a really steady, excellent actor, Cillian Murphy. But they always come back to do like fucking shit on ITV. Do you know what I mean? They always come back to do like...
You're not getting Murphy on ITV now.
You're not getting Murphy on ITV
way.
now. But a lot, like Graham, will go out and he'll do, big stuff. And he'll be lauded all around town, and everyone loves him and stuff. Stephen Graham is an example. Is a bad example because he will always do stuff like that. But I just always think that these guys. Who's the fellow who was in 50 Shades? That guy, that Northern Irish bloke. The Whips, Johnny
Jamie
Whips.
Dornan.
Jamie Dornan.
Is that him?
He'll be going out there, and he'll be B-list kind of getting there kind of like job and act then and doing really well, leading man, and yet he'll come back and do a little bit of BBC.
Yeah,
he'll
so
come
I think
back
what
and
you're
do a
saying
little
is
bit here and there.
quite specific people aren't quite A-list actors. I think Cillian Murphy...
But they always come back to do a little bit of telly, a little bit of British telly.
I know. But Stephen Graham does do that. I think Stephen Graham's a very good example of that. I think he just loves the scripts, doesn't he? He just follows the script.
Yeah, but it's the love of the game, isn't it? The love of ITV, the love of Emmerdale.
But the thing is, the thing with Cillian Murphy as well is, he's always going to be an actor, right? He's not a film star necessarily. I think if you're talking about your Jurassic Park movies, your kind of Chris Pratt kind of vehicles, he's basically a film star, isn't he? He's a movie star.
Jeremy Renner. We can't even get a Renner.
I never really got Renner. I don't really get how Renner.
No,
I know Renner's been.
Jeremy Renner's a wanker. Like he can't. He's one of those guys who cannot hide how objectionable he is. Do you remember when he had that app?
No.
He did have that accident. I think it was pre-accident. He had that app. Somebody reminded us about it. He had that app, and it was so badly made that every time Jeremy Renner would have put a post out, whatever people replied would be seeded out to all of his fans as if it came from Jeremy Renner. So that when people would just literally be going, "I'm having a big wank, Jeremy," and it would get emailed. That message would get emailed as if it was a post from Jeremy Renner saying, "Hi guys, I'm having a big wank." It's the Jeremy Renner official app.
Yeah, it was called Jeremy Renner Official. Yeah.
Delicious.
2017. Quite a 2017
delicious
story, this.
Yeah, they're all a bit like, like how Gwen Stefani married that country bloke and went Christian. Do you know what I mean? They're all a bit mega church, those kind of guys, aren't they?
People only go Christian normally when they've got some pretty serious charges to contest.
Little Tommy Dutchers, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't know. I thought because Gwen Stefani was Gavin Rossdale, wasn't she?
Yes, and then but Rossdale seems like what a handsome couple. Rossdale, just abs, very ab heavy couple.
So my friend who edits Songwriting magazine, he had Gavin Rossdale as a cover star the most recent issue.
Right.
So he was a really nice fella, lovely guy.
Yeah,
felt quite insecure about not being
as
good as Kurt Cobain. And being massive in America, but not really being that well accepted in the UK. A very interesting interview, actually.
It's good one to be, though, isn't it? Out of the two.
Yeah.
Would you rather be the Killers or would you rather be Bush? Actually, it's a bad example because they've had a very, very long career. But probably do a lot of business in South America, I imagine, the Killers.
If you're going to be big in one of them, be big in America, I'd say.
Yeah, hugely.
Like Ramble struggles badly in America, doesn't it? Ramble doesn't get anywhere in America. No traction.
The things we say, no abs, and we're not. We need to get Marcus's love of the church front and centre. That's what we need. We need the Marcus Speller app.
You need Marcus Speller Super Church.
Daily platitudes. I'll run security. We need to get Marcus a church. So that's what we'll work on.
We'll use the NVIDIA DLSS5 software.
We need to DLSS at 5 ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, we'll be back on Thursday. hello@lukepeatshow.com if you want to tell us about people who have surprising looking dads.
It'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah, and if you've got anything else for us, just hello@lukepeatshow.com. You can also get in touch on the YouTube and all kinds of other places.
We plug the email address every show.
Yeah.
Never read any.
What do you mean? Well, maybe we should. Well, sometimes we do. Well, why don't we make it an email special? I'm spent. I've got nothing next show, I'm sure.
I could get half an hour out of your glasses again next time.
All right, fine. See you later.